Costa Rica abolished its military in 1948, invested the money in education and conservation, protected 25% of its territory, became the eco-tourism capital of the world. That was the promise: nature as a renewable resource. Tourism funding conservation. Paradise preserved. Here's the reality. Costa Rica has 5 million people and 3 million annual tourists. The ratio is destroying what the tourists came to see. Manuel Antonio limits visitors to 600 daily. Sounds responsible until you realize that's 219,000 people annually walking trails designed for sloths. The wilderness became an outdoor zoo. The eco-lodges run air conditioning 24/7 while marketing sustainability. The zipline tours string cables through rainforest-destroying habitat. The sloth sanctuaries charge $50 for selfies, fueling illegal wildlife trade. Pura vida is the motto. Pure life. But there's nothing pure about tourism consuming the nature it claims to protect. Costa Rica is genuinely extraordinary. 6% of Earth's biodiversity is 0.03% of its surface. Rainforests, volcanoes, 2 coastlines, sloths, jaguars. Nature is real. The ecotourism is mostly marketing. Welcome to the Travelist Guide. We show destinations honestly. This is Costa Rica. The beauty and the business. Let's see what happens when paradise becomes a product. Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve protects 10,500 hectares, where constant mist creates a unique ecosystem with orchids, ferns, and the resplendent quetzal drawing birders globally. Protected in 1972 by Quakers, creating a private conservation model. Trails pass through primary forest where trees are covered in epiphytes and fog creates a mystical atmosphere. Howler monkeys call from the canopy. Hummingbirds dart between flowers, but the reserve is overwhelmed. Trails are crowded. Parking fills by 7 a.m. The area has 12 zipline operations stringing steel cables through the canopy, destroying habitat. Ziplines market themselves as ecotourism, but the reality is forest fragmentation. Quetzals are harder to find because noise drives them deeper. Monteverde represents ecotourism's contradiction, where protection is funded by tourism, destroying what's protected. The forest survives. Wildness dies. Manuel Antonio is Costa Rica's smallest park at 683 hectares, where rainforest meets white sand beaches, creating paradise with 3-toed sloths, old white-faced capuchins, and iguanas. The park limits 600 visitors daily, but 219,000 annually overwhelms infrastructure. Beaches are packed, monkeys are habituated, begging for food despite prohibition. Sloths are stressed from tourists surrounding them for photos. Guides guarantee sightings, creating pressure to keep animals visible. Trails erode, vegetation is trampled. Outside the park, the town is overdeveloped with hotels and tour operators. Conservation saved the park. Tourism pressure destroyed the experience. Protection works. Pressure overwhelms. Animals survive. Wilderness is gone. Manuel Antonio is beautiful. Successful conservation loved to death. The park is an outdoor zoo now. Arenal is a 1,657-meter perfect cone that was the most active volcano with lava flows nightly until 2010, when activity stopped. The volcano is surrounded by rainforest with hot springs at the base, creating a resort industry. Stunning, rising above La Fortuna. Trails offer views and wildlife, including howler monkeys roaring at dawn, toucans, and sloths. But it's completely commercialized. Natural hot springs have been developed into luxury resorts charging $80 to $100 for manufactured pools with swim-up bars. Actual springs are controlled by resorts, eliminating free access. Volcano viewing became an industry where nature is the backdrop to the resort experience. La Fortuna grew from a village to a town serving tourism. Local culture is secondary to the tourism economy. Arenal represents natural feature commodification. The volcano is real, the experience is manufactured, the springs are natural, access is purchased. Tortuguero on the Caribbean coast is where endangered green sea turtles nest, July to October, creating a spectacle where guides lead night tours to witness 300-pound females dragging up beaches to dig nests and lay eggs. The park protects 26,000 hectares of canals, lagoons, and rainforest. Accessible only by boat, creating the Venice of Costa Rica. Boat trips reveal caiman sunning, river otters playing, and Jesus Christ lizards running on water. Biodiversity is extraordinary, with jaguars prowling unseen and manatees inhabiting lagoons. But tourism pressure is intense during nesting. Peak nights bring hundreds. Guides use flashlights despite prohibition. Tourists crowd nesting females, disrupting the process. Turtles that nested in darkness now nest in the spotlight. The village depends entirely on tourism, creating pressure to allow access even when access harms turtles. Corcovado on the Osa Peninsula is 42,000 hectares of primary rainforest. National Geographic called the most biologically intense place on Earth. It contains all 4 Costa Rican monkey species, all 6 cat species, including jaguars and pumas, Baird's tapirs, scarlet macaws, and harpy eagles. It requires mandatory guides and permits, limiting access. Trails are challenging with river crossings. Wildlife is abundant. Tapirs walk beaches. Jaguars leave tracks. The forest is pristine with massive buttress trees. But reaching Corcovado is expensive, requiring $200 to $400 nightly lodges, $80 to $100 guide fees, and boat transport. Access is elite. Only the wealthy experience the wildest park. Protection works because expense limits visitors. Corcovado represents conservation through exclusion. Wilderness survives because few can afford it. Jaguars are protected by economics, not just regulations. Puerto Viejo on the Caribbean coast was an Afro-Caribbean fishing village, where Creole culture, reggae rhythms, and rice and beans defined character, creating an authentic community until tourism discovered pristine beaches, transforming the village into a tourist town. Beaches are stunning, with Playa Cocle's surf, Punta Uva's calm waters, and Manzanillo's undeveloped shoreline. Caribbean vibe persists superficially with reggae bars and Creole restaurants, but it has gentrified rapidly. Property prices skyrocketed. Foreigners bought land, expats opened businesses. The original Afro-Caribbean community has been economically displaced as rents increased and families sold, moving inland. Locals now work service jobs in businesses owned by foreigners. Language shifted from Spanish and patois to English for tourists. Culture that attracted visitors has been replaced by tourist-oriented culture. Puerto Viejo represents gentrification, where tourism displaced authentic culture. Rincón de la Vieja is an active volcano in Guanacaste, with bubbling mud pots shooting gray mud, fumaroles releasing sulfurous steam, and hot springs where geothermal water creates natural spas in an alien landscape. Trails pass through dry tropical forest with pumas rarely seen. Ocelots hunting at dawn, white-nosed coyotes in bands, and massive iguanas basking. Volcanic features are dramatic, only where Earth's interior is visible. The waterfalls are turquoise. The forest is recovering. But the area outside park boundaries is an environmental disaster. Geothermal plants extract steam industrially. Hotels tap springs commercially. Development is uncontrolled sprawl. Forest has been cleared for cattle, creating a moonscape. Wildlife corridors are broken, eliminating animal movement. Rincón represents how park protection is meaningless when the surrounding landscape is destroyed. The volcano is protected, the ecosystem is fragmented. The park is an island in a sea of development. Montezuma on the Nicoya Peninsula was a hippie beach town where backpackers and artists lived cheaply near a three-tiered waterfall with turquoise pools, creating an alternative community. The waterfall is magnificent, it cascading 25 meters into a pool surrounded by jungle with rope swings and cliff jumping. Beaches are beautiful with tide pools. The town had cheap hostels, vegetarian restaurants, and artisan markets, creating a budget bohemian paradise. But it has gentrified completely within a decade. Backpacker hostels became boutique hotels charging $150 nightly. Cheap restaurants became expensive farm-to-table cafes. Property values increased exponentially. The original hippie community was priced out. Artists left. Backpackers moved elsewhere. New Montezuma serves wealthy tourists seeking an authentic experience where authenticity was replaced by authenticity-themed businesses, marketing nostalgia for the culture they destroyed. The waterfall is unchanged. The town is unrecognizable. Cahuita National Park on the Caribbean coast protects 600 hectares of coral reef that was once the healthiest reef system. With 35 coral species creating an underwater garden and 128 fish species, including parrotfish, angelfish, and barracuda. Sea turtles graze seagrass. Nurse sharks rest on sand. Terrestrial trails through coastal forest, where howler monkeys roar at dawn and sloths hang motionless. But the reef is dying catastrophically. Sedimentation from deforestation smothers coral. Agricultural runoff brings pesticides, causing algae blooms. Climate change raises temperature, causing bleaching. Boat anchors damage structure. The reef, vibrant in 1990, is a graveyard now. Coral is mostly dead, bleached white. Fish populations are decimated. Snorkeling tours still operate, selling an experience that barely exists. Guides show dead reefs marketed as a living ecosystem. Cahuita represents coastal development killing reefs. Tamarindo was a remote surf village where consistent waves attracted surfers, creating a small community living simply, focused on surfing. Then developers discovered it, built massive hotels, constructed condos, opened malls. A village of 500 became a town of 20,000, permanently altering character. The beach is lined with construction, blocking ocean views. Surf is crowded with hundreds competing for waves. Water quality has declined from inadequate sewage treatment. Tide pools are contaminated with fecal bacteria. Development is uncontrolled chaos because regulations weren't enforced due to corruption favoring economic growth over environmental protection. Buildings violate maritime zone laws. Environmental assessments are ignored. Tamarindo represents Costa Rica's development failure, where the country markets ecotourism globally while allowing ecological destruction locally. Waves remain consistent. The town is ruined. The surf is overcrowded. Water is polluted. La Fortuna waterfall is a spectacular 70-meter cascade plunging into a turquoise pool surrounded by rainforest, where swimming beneath thundering water creates a refreshing experience reached by descending 500 concrete steps, making it accessible to the masses. The waterfall is genuinely stunning. The volume is impressive. The setting in the rainforest canyon is beautiful. The pool is deep and cold. Negative ions from falling water are energizing. The trail is well maintained with railings and rest platforms. But accessibility created overcrowding, destroying the experience. Peak times bring hundreds simultaneously. The small pool is packed like a public pool. Photo spots have waiting lines. The experience is rushed because crowds behind want their turn. A waterfall that should inspire contemplation is a chaotic swimming facility with queues. Entrance fee is $18 per person, generating massive revenue. Commodification is complete, where a natural feature becomes a profit center. La Fortuna represents democratic access destroying experience. Sloth Sanctuary near Cahuita started as a legitimate rescue facility rehabilitating injured sloths for release. Creating a conservation operation focused on animal welfare. But tourism pressure fundamentally changed the mission. Now the emphasis is tourist interaction. Where visitors hold baby sloths for photos, paying a premium for wildlife encounters marketed as helping conservation. The reality is, sloths are stressed by constant handling. Baby sloths are kept for tourism longer than rehabilitation requires. The facility, claiming conservation priority, now prioritizes tourist satisfaction and revenue. The sanctuary model spread rapidly. Now dozens offer sloth interactions, creating demand fueling illegal wildlife trade. Where poachers take babies from wild mothers to supply sanctuaries and collectors. Sanctuaries publicly claiming to protect sloths are privately creating a market for poaching. The cute factor makes sloths profitable. Profits corrupt conservation. Tourists are complicit, paying for interactions harming animals. The Osa Peninsula contains Corcovado's pristine rainforest, but also has a devastating gold mining history where illegal miners called oreros still operate, extracting gold using mercury, contaminating rivers, and destroying forest, creating catastrophe inside and adjacent to park boundaries despite mining being prohibited. Mining is illegal, but enforcement is inadequate. Miners are desperately poor. Gold is extremely valuable. Mercury runs directly into rivers, poisoning fish, caimans, and people downstream. The forest is cleared for operations. Rivers are muddy with sediment. Wildlife is displaced or poisoned. Corcovado's conservation success is threatened by mining continuing despite decades of prohibition. Osa represents how poverty drives environmental destruction, where miners need income and gold provides it regardless of cost, externalized downstream. Rivers are contaminated with mercury. The forest is destroyed. Enforcement is insufficient. Corruption allows mining. Santa Teresa on the Nicoya Peninsula was a remote surf spot accessible only by terrible roads, where excellent waves and isolation attracted hardcore surfers. Then yoga tourism discovered it explosively. Infrastructure expanded rapidly with yoga retreats, boutique hotels, and organic restaurants. The population increased tenfold within a decade, but the water system can't handle growth. The dry season brings severe shortages. Wells are drilled progressively deeper. Saltwater intrusion is increasing as the freshwater aquifer is depleted faster than rainfall recharges. Septic systems are completely inadequate. Waste contaminates groundwater, creating a public health crisis. Roads are congested with construction, building is constant and uncontrolled. Santa Teresa represents boomtown development without planning, where yoga retreats marketing sustainability overwhelm carrying capacity. Teachers preach connection to nature while development destroys nature. Surfing is excellent. Water is literally running out. Merino Balena National Park protects Pacific Coast beaches and marine areas where humpback whales migrate from both hemispheres, creating year-round watching December to April and July to October, making Costa Rica unique for dual whale seasons. The park's Playa Uvita has a tombolo sand formation shaped like a whale tail, visible at low tide. Snorkeling reveals healthy coral reefs with tropical fish, sea turtles grazing, and occasional dolphins. Humpback whales breach spectacularly, launching 30-ton bodies completely out of water, creating massive splashes visible for kilometers. Mothers bring calves to warm shallow waters for protection while teaching survival. But whale-watching boats are excessive during peak season. Regulations require a 100-meter distance, but boats approach closer illegally. Engine noise disrupts whale communication. Crowding stresses animals. The park protects habitat but can't control operators. Arenal Volcano National Park contains Rio Celeste, where two rivers merge, creating a chemical reaction turning water impossibly bright, turquoise blue, creating a surreal landscape where electric blue river flows through green rainforest, appearing artificial but being a completely natural phenomenon caused by aluminum silicate minerals suspended in water refracting light. The trail leads to a waterfall where blue water cascades into a pool, creating an Instagram-famous scene photographed millions of times. Hot springs bubble, volcanic craters steam, wildlife includes tapirs leaving tracks and jaguars passing unseen. But the park limits visitors to 500 daily, creating permit scarcity during high season. The trail is often crowded despite limits. Viewpoints are packed. Swimming in blue water is prohibited, protecting water quality but disappointing visitors. The park represents successful capacity management, preventing overcrowding but creating visitor frustration. Pacuari River is world-class whitewater rafting through pristine Rainforest Canyon with Class 3 to 4 rapids, creating multi-day wilderness trips where camping on riverbanks under jungle canopy and waking to howler monkeys provides authentic adventure tourism, supporting river conservation. Because an undammed river generates economic value, exceeding hydroelectric development value. Rapids are exciting, providing adrenaline, while calm sections allow wildlife viewing where toucans fly overhead and river otters play on banks. Canyon walls rise steeply, covered in primary forest. The water is clean and clear. But hydroelectric dam proposals persistently threaten the river, where the government wants power generation and the tourism industry wants preservation, creating an ongoing political battle. Multiple dam proposals have been defeated, but the threat remains permanent. A dam would flood the canyon, destroying whitewater and rainforest. Pacuari's future is uncertain, despite decades of advocacy. Costa Rica is beautiful. Conservation achievements are real. Biodiversity is extraordinary. But ecotourism overwhelms what it protects. Sloths stressed, reefs dying, towns overdeveloped. Water is running out, wilderness loved to death. Visit Costa Rica, but visit responsibly. Avoid sloth selfies. Choose genuine eco-lodges. Visit less popular parks. Respect wildlife. Hit subscribe to the Travelist Guide for honest coverage, the conservation and commercialization, the protection and pressure. Subscribe because Costa Rica deserves truth, not marketing. Pura vida means pure life. Life in Costa Rica is complicated. Beautiful and threatened. Worth protecting and visiting carefully. The paradise is real. Paradise is also a product. Both are true. See you in the rainforest that remains.